Good evening, everyone. This is the Stoppage Time Penalty Show with myself, Tabriz, the host, the creator. Let me not say anything about being the best centre back. I'm, literally, I think I got a kind of shelve that phrase at this present moment in time, and I'll probably tell you why later on. But Owen, could you please tell everyone out there who you are and the team that you represent?
Well, I'm the best centre-back in football, so that's why you've chosen not to say it, because so Owen from Herne Bay Vets. Yeah, there you go. That's it.
Yeah, brilliant. And where's kind of home Herne Bay located? A bit of history about the club.
Herne Bay is on the northeast Kent coast, same coast as Margate. Whitstable, probably names that people around the London area would know of. The club, so we've only in this season become affiliated with Herne Bay. Prior to joining with Herne Bay, we were called Tankerton Slayer for several years. And then, we joined with Herne Bay this year because they were looking to get a vets team. And at one point, it looked like half of our team was going to leave and form this other vets team. So we just basically approached them and said, well, look, why don't we just become part of you? And so, this season we've become Herne Bay Vets. Their strategy is to have football teams across all age groups from youth all the way up. So they've got walking football as well. In fact, the captain of England's walking football team comes from Herne Bay. Wow. Absolute legend, Neil Brown, yeah.
Cool. Nice one. And will you be participating in walking football anytime soon?
Do you know what? If when it gets to that stage, anytime soon. No, not anytime soon. Yeah. I keep on saying I'm clinging on to my 30s. I've got a few months left on my 30s. But listen, when the time comes, if it's an option for me, I'll gladly get involved, Like I said, this guy, Neil Brown, played local football for years and years, well known in the town, played quite a decent standard. And it's only later on in life that he's, kind of achieved this really positive thing. He's become captain of England's walking football team, and represented them, won tournaments. And so the dream can still happen. You can still represent your country at any age.
100%. I love that. Coach Barry, Happy New Year, sir. Oh, we can't hear you. Hold on. We can't hear you. You're mute.
Yeah, it should be there now.
Yeah. Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Owen, Tabriz. Happy New Year to all the listeners out there. Hope everyone's having a great one so far.
Yeah, well, it's the 10th today, so hey, I mean, New Year's finally over now. It's just I think it's just time to get things going now, right, Coach?
It's the new era, man. New era. It's a new era.
So, could you briefly talk about yourself and Independent?
We haven't at the moment. The league's been stopped. Our league's been stopped because of the Omicron. So the league decided to hold all fixtures. So a week, maybe 1 week or 2 weeks, we're going to be on hold. Hopefully, we'll be back next week. So what we've been doing, all the teams have just been keeping fit, training, and getting ready for the season to start. It was a pity for us because we've got the London Cup semi-final next week for our 16s. And they haven't played since last year before Christmas. So it's a tough game to go into straight after the Christmas, to go into the London Cup semi-final. We had a session today. We did our community session today with all the little kids. We had a good turnout again. That went well. So the main thing, we're just preparing for all these. We've got all the age groups have got some big games coming up, but we haven't been able to play any games. So us and some of the opposition are going straight into all these big games. I need to have a word with Jamal from the FA, because I think it's a bit early to play like semi-finals and stuff like that straight after Christmas, before the teams have had a little time to get a few games in and warm in. I think that's something we'll be sitting down and try to discuss, and hopefully the FA will listen to our reasoning I could see our guys nodding, so I think you agree with what I'm saying as well. Just go straight into big games straight up, especially a London Cup semi-final straight after Christmas. And you've played no league games or a chance to do anything like that. All we've done is really trained. But everything else is going really well. We've also been looking into getting into an under-18s semi-pro league, but that's in the pipeline. We're looking into it, stuff like that. So if we can, trying to find the ground and something like that, which we need to hire for the season and all the other sort of regulations you need to go in there. So that's what we're looking at for the near future coming up. But at the moment, all we've been doing is training because of this Omicron and the guidelines set by our league, not for us to play for the next week or 2 weeks. So that's it for us. It's a shame, really.
Yeah, big shame.
We really needed games because we've got cup. All the teams have got cup games coming up in the next week and the week after. So,
yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, funny enough, we're talking about cup games, and again, thank you to everyone that's listening. I just want to say from the get-go, I would love for you to kind of like this video, subscribe to the channel as well. Go and look up Herne Bay and go and look up Independent FC. So that's kind of one thing I'm going to be shouting out a lot more during the whole show. But like again, talking about what's kind of going on in like today's show, of course, we kind of have the vets section, and we'll be talking about the London Cup, the Vets London Cup, and also we'll be talking about the 10 best centre backs that have ever played in the Premiership. I know everyone's kind of got their own opinions. You can see someone in the background, that also should be mentioned. But hey, you know what? Let's not talk about that person. But again,
I just noticed that, to breathe.
No, I've just noticed that as well.
Nice, Fabrice. Good.
So, let's go kind of straight into the vet segment. And let's go straight into the London Cup, Owen. You guys played. Actually, can you tell us who you played yesterday and what was the score?
Yeah, we played Catford Wanderers Old Boys, who I believe are third in Division 6. We were fixtured at home, which meant we played on the 4G at Prince's Park, Dartford's ground.
Yeah.
So we didn't actually play on Dartford's pitch. They've got a 4G next to it, and that was what we rented as our home pitch. It's actually, quite surprisingly, one of the worst condition 4Gs I've played on. It was soaked. There was no drainage. It's weird because that's the idea,
Yeah.
And so it's weird because the pitch was elevated as well, so it was all set up to be drained, but there was no drainage. It got really soggy, and it was just like this bit weird. But anyway, despite that, we won 8-3. So through to the next round, we were scheduled to be playing this coming week against the winner of Sporting Kits and somebody else, but their game didn't happen yesterday, so they've been postponed till next week, and so we don't yet know when we're going to be playing the winner of that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, I know there's
wait a minute. Sorry, just to interject, Jamal has quite literally messaged a few minutes ago on the group with my manager. Yeah, we pushed back a week, so we're going to be playing them on the 22nd. Whoever wins out of that game.
Okay. Because it's really funny because Owen actually contacted me about the London Cup draw, and I wasn't too sure exactly if the cup draw was actually, in terms of the next round. And I was under the assumption that we would probably do another live draw, but you actually knew who you were playing before I did. So literally, I had to contact Jamal to see what was going on, and because there's been a few abandoned games because of whatever reason, it was going to be quite complicated to actually do a live draw. So I believe the London FA did a draw and whatnot, and everything's been being sorted out. So no, you know, again, was it 8-3?
Yeah, we were 4-0 up at half time, bossing it. We played our favourite formation and we were dominating it, but they just could not get out of their half. Half time, we had an awesome squad, 16, and you know you could have picked. It was very difficult for him to pick a starting 11 out of them. All of them quality enough to have played to started. So at half time, the manager made 4 changes and changed formation, and we were chaotic for the next 10 minutes. We just didn't have a grip. We couldn't get it. We conceded 2 goals. And then we went back to the formation that we'd started the game in and then bossed it again.
And do you guys normally play the 3 at the back?
I'm not saying.
So you guys played the 3 at the back and probably changed it to a 4 and didn't work. I get it.
I'll let you think that. It's in my confuse all the listeners. Yeah.
But no, but you know, I mean, you know, I've kind of said it anyways. Like, you know, Herne Bay. You know, we played against Herne Bay a few seasons ago, and I think Herne Bay are going to be one of like the dark horses. Of course, Charcoal in it. Red Bridge that beat Independent and Santos. I like still in it as well. West Fulham, the current holders are like still in it. Jamrock as well. So it's going to be a very interesting competition. You know, in the kind of latter stages. But again, hopefully we can kind of get everything done. We don't want any kind of lockdowns. You know, we kind of want to play as much football, competitive football as possible.
Yeah, Redbridge have got Charcoal, haven't they?
Yes, they've got Redbridge next week, 15th. So that's going to be a very interesting game. Coach Barry, have you got anything to comment about the result yesterday? The 8-3 win.
No, I don't know. Well, if it's is that Catford's B team?
It was Catford 2008, so must be their B team.
That's not Nana's team, is it? Nana's is the main team, isn't it?
Yeah. So literally, Nana's is the main team, and in 2008 must be the B team in Division 3.
From what you've said about Owen's side sounds too strong anyway. Owen's side must be one of the stronger teams in that competition. So I expected Owen's side to win comfortably against Catford B.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Nana will tell us now.
Yeah, especially on that surface, Owen. You don't seem like you're the champions on that surface.
Yeah. Good evening, chaps.
Good evening,
Nana, and happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year. Actually, we were just talking about Catford 2008. Could you kind of shed some light? You know,
is that your B team, Nana? Is that B team or no?
No, Catford 2008 is us now, but there's another Catford team who play on the Sundays.
No, there was a team we played yesterday, Catford Wanderers Old Boys, OB. They're in Division 6.
Oh yeah, that's yeah. I think they're all over. Well, old boys, I think. Because
do you know what? They weren't that old. They were quite a young vets team. To be fair to them.
So I know there's quite an older Catford team, and I know there's a Sunday team, and then us. I also know Catford has teams, going up the ranks, but I'm not sure which one you played yesterday. We are Catford 2008, and they have a Sunday team as well, and another Saturday team. But I know that because I refed a game for them probably like 3-4 weeks ago. Oh well, just before Christmas. So I'm not sure the team that you played. Was it a friendly?
Was it a friendly?
Yes.
No, it was London Cup. It was last 16 London Cup. We beat them 8-3.
Okay.
So we're in the quarters now.
Yeah.
Nice. Congratulations to that.
Thank you.
Yeah. So let's kind of move on to Division 1 and Division 2 in the Southern Vets League. I know in Division 1, actually that's Division 2. Let me go to the result for Division 1. Oh gosh, where are they? I'm having a bit of a mare.
That's not surprising.
I literally thought, I literally thought I actually uploaded it, but I didn't. There was literally no games in Division 1. There was like no league games. It was only a cup game. It was Metro Gas versus Sonsland.
Snodland.
Yeah.
In the Kent Cup.
Okay, yes. Was Metro Gas won?
Yeah, and Pennos, yeah. So we're in the semi-final of the Kent Cup. They are New Ashvet and
Stansfield.
Div 1, yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. And so at this present moment, this is the league table in Division 1. Charcoal are first, LSUA are second, Stansfield, Glebe for third and fourth, Johnson and Phillips fifth, New Park Vet sixth, Column United seventh, Metro Gas eighth, and Defiant ninth.
Bruh, Defiance are fucked.
Yeah. Well, to put it
sorry for my language, but
well, I mean, well, you know what I mean. And we might try and get someone from Defiance next week.
what happened to them? They were a really good side. I mean, I remember my first game, Defiance, they beat us 9-1.
9-1. It's but again, how many years ago was that? That was 5 years ago. 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, man. They were a really good side. They had a really lovely pitch, and I mean, 2 or 3 times since. But
yeah. Well, hey, like we were kind of, we can probably talk about Defiance and like other like teams that are probably on the brink of disaster probably next week. But let's move on to Division 2. Any games in Division 2? Yes, they were. Division 2. So Blackheath 5, Seagas 6. So that was a surprise win for Seagas away from home. And Catford Wanderers 9, Wallenham 3. So that was a rout. Nana, could you talk about that game for us, please?
Yeah, I mean, before I do, you were saying Blackheath, the dark horses.
Well, I mean, they were unbeaten, and then they've lost 2.
Yeah, but that statement is yes, and here's why. Have you checked the teams they played?
Well, before yesterday, they haven't played us. I was in Independent or Santos, but you can only beat the teams in front of you.
True, but they really, if you look at the league table, they really haven't played anyone. They haven't played any of the big boys yet.
Well, actually, before you talk about the Catford game, let's kind of look at the league table. So Independent are first, Blackheath are second, Cray Wanderers third, Seagas fourth, Sporting Santos fifth, LSUB sixth, Catford seventh, Wallenham eighth, Leon Stars ninth, Bow Street Runners 10th, and Norwood Lakers 11th. Nana, could you talk about the Wallenham game?
Wallingham are a decent side, but yesterday we were different class. We were just different class. We played as a unit. You couldn't tell that we haven't played football since the 11th of December. We popped the ball around really well. No arguments on the pitch. Listened to the management's instructions. I mean, I was in goal yesterday.
Really?
Yeah, 5-0 at halftime. We didn't put a lot of things wrong yesterday, just to be fair. We had a really, really, really decent game, and we had a few more additions to the squad. Players who weren't eligible now are. So some of them came training on Wednesday. So we're still building. And the game that is one of the best football I've seen Catford play in a long time. And the game that we played yesterday, they couldn't get near us at all. The plan is to build from there. We've set a really high benchmark for ourselves yesterday, and we need to continue with that. It's still building, and I love to see this process. I'm fully on board this process, and I love to see this process continue to build because it's exciting You know, what I saw yesterday. They just couldn't get near us. They had a penalty. I mean, from minute one to 90th minute, it was just football, sticking to the game plan, not long balls, just popping the ball about, moving, playing football. And I was really excited to see the game. So I'm well done to all the lads for, you know, those who played, those who came on, those who were on the side cheering us on. It was a real solid team performance, and we take that on into next week.
No, well done. I mean, again, that result didn't go unnoticed because Wallenham are a decent team.
Trust me,
they are. So,
yeah.
So literally that result really didn't go unnoticed. So
I know this is probably going to send shockwaves around, but it's all about us still building, doing our work quietly behind the scenes, and us still building. There's enough talk for the beginning of the season. You know, we're just gonna remain focused. We're just gonna remain quiet and do our work silently behind the scenes. For me, next season is the real season for Wanderers, because when you put a lot of people together to play football, yes, they can be ballers, but you need to get a team. And once the team starts gelling, once everybody believes in the process and starts playing together for each other, understanding the game plan, then exciting things happen. You know, if you rely on individuals, it just doesn't work. Yeah. Teamwork beats individual performances any day of the season. You know, so yeah, I'm excited for the next chapter.
Cool. So with Independent, we had an in-house game, and we had how many players? 25, 26 players. So yeah, we had an in-house game on 4G. I mean, you know, I don't know how it was for you, Owen or Nana, but it was crapping it down, absolutely crapping. So I mean, again, you know, like it just shows, you know, the discipline and the focus of players coming out in the rain just to have an in-house game. It was a good game. It was a good game. A few new players, a few new additions played, and you know, again, you know, they're just going to add quality to the squad. In terms of any injuries picked up, I've got to put up my hand and say, you know, I kind of came up injured after 15 minutes or so.
Again, not surprising.
Listen, I mean, you know, it's. I don't want to talk too much about it, but I mean, again, it was on a kind of personal level. You know, I think people kind of talk about the mentality of like players and the discipline and like whatnot, and because, you know, as a player, no matter what level, you kind of go through these kind of emotions, highs and lows. So listen, I'm not gonna lie to you guys and say, oh, you know what, I'm like in the kind of best form of my life. It's probably one of like the worst periods, you know, at this present moment. And of course, like the injury it just doesn't help, like the whole mindset and like, you know, psyche. But that's something that I have to deal with. But I mean, again, the new players that came in played well. The team is focused. They know exactly what they have to do. We've got Bow Street next week or this week on the 15th, and then we've got Charcoal on the 22nd, which is the Beckenham second round. But again, you know, the whole team, I'd say ethos and literally how like people are in the group. You know, there's kind of always jokes and you know, there's kind of always things like said that, you know, that will kind of make like people laugh. And you know, again, we always ask questions of ourselves. But yeah, it is a big squad to actually choose from. Players are now playing in different positions, which will now give Paul and Ray like crazy amounts of headaches now. So yeah, it's kind of exciting times, definitely. Getting like through January and probably early February will kind of definitely will not determine where we're going to finish, but again, it after like the Christmas break, hopefully COVID won't kind of lock down games, and again, Bow Street are going to be a very, very, very hard game. Charcoal, we all know about them, and what it is now is that we've played everyone already, so literally everyone knows what they have to do to like beat us. So they're going to play as if it's a cup final. So that's the kind of mentality that literally Ray's been trying to drill in. So, but no, overall, it was a good session yesterday.
How was the ref, Tabriz?
The ref was good. Yeah, he was fair. Again, it's a kind of in-house game, so you don't want to injure anyone or any kind of 50-50 challenges or decisions. You have to let them go. But as the game goes on, you kind of forget that they're your teammates and you just want to win. But again, it was good just to have a run out. It was really good how to kind of have a run out, and again, as I kind of said before, the new additions have like come in, and they're not going to be passengers. I can kind of definitely say that they've just raised the bar even more. So it's going to be very, very interesting. Very interesting.
And what sort of injury did you get?
It's an ankle injury. So I kind of jumped up, and then as I landed, I tried to spin. I got spun. Actually, no, I got spun. So literally I tried to recover, and my ankle went. And as I'm running back, I'm like trying to tackle him, what he scored from that mistake. And I was like, okay, well, I felt my ankle, but I thought, okay, it's an impact injury. Cool. But when you're kind of running back into positions, you can just, it's just not feeling right. And
so basically someone dribbled you and put you on your ass and you hurt yourself.
No, listen, you know what? Someone spun me. Like, I kind of just jumped too early, and they just nudged me. And when you're kind of up in the air, like you don't have any body weight, so it's one of the things. And I think again, like the most frustrating thing about
I wish you well. I wish you well. Recover soon. It'd be good to see you back on the pitch.
Yeah, I mean, I think the whole thing of course, it was pissing down with rain, and like you're just there watching, like 15 minutes gone, and you think
horrible.
It's just horrible. It's a horrible feeling. And then
I was in goal, so I know.
Yeah, but
my toes, my ears, my fingers.
but like what? And literally, I don't know if this was like it must have been a good thing. The moment I came off, the team that was playing started playing better. I just started playing better. So that just like, oh, okay, well, you know what? I was blatantly like the weak link, But I tried to continue to like running it, which probably didn't make it better. And I probably got not probably, I did get worse. But hey, that's that's kind of something I just have to deal with. Mentally and hey, like it is what it is. When I have good days, I'll tell people, and when I have bad days, I like literally tell that people. I'm not gonna hide away and say do I like deserve to be in a starting 11 right now? No. Injuries and form would actually say that I'm kind of not in a starting 11 right now, but that's kind of down to me to actually change that and to kind of put myself in a like position to hopefully affect the game if I kind of come on. But again, that's kind of something that I'm dealing with. So yeah,
Fabrice, we get the message, mate.
Yeah. Oh dear. So thank you to everyone that's listening in. If you kind of got any comments, please put them in. The next segment is going to be about the top centre backs that have played in the Premiership. and we'll be going into this subject after a quick commercial break. All right, welcome back to the second part of the show. Emeka, thank you for coming in.
No problem. Always a pleasure.
All righty.
Happy New Year, Emeka. Happy New Year, man.
Yeah, well, Happy New Year, guys. Hope everyone's well.
Everyone is well.
Surviving, man.
Happy New Year, Mecca.
Oh, Nana, my guy.
You better behave yourself.
Oh, yeah, new year, new me. I'm all good.
That's a lie. That is a lie. So we'll be talking about the 10 best centre backs who have graced the Premiership. And let me just say from the get-go, I devised this list. So I've had a few comments already.
Yes, you have.
Yeah, but again, we will literally talk about that once literally everyone's given their reasons why certain players should or shouldn't be in. So as like Emeka's come in, Emeka, could you give everyone your list from 10 to 6?
Okay, so at 10, I had Radebe. All I'll say is I'm 28, so I'll be honest with you, I don't know who that is. I'll be honest with you, yeah? So he had to come last. He might be a good player, but he had to come last. I went Vidic in 9, Bruce in 8, Hypia in 7, and 6, Arsenal's legend, Tony Adams.
Okay, cool. And Owen, could you give us yours from 10 to 6?
Yeah, so same, started with Radebe. I know who he was. He was actually a good player, but he's clearly in there because of your love for Leeds. Yeah. Hypia, Bruce, Campbell, yeah, and VVD.
Cool. And Coach Barry, could I have yours from 10 to 6 as well?
I can't remember it.
Don't worry. I've actually got everything here for you. So you've got Bruce at 10, Radebe at 9, Hypia at 8, Adams at 7, and Campbell at 6. Nana, because you started putting in any player that you want to put in, I couldn't put yours out.
My list is much better than yours.
Okay, all right. So literally, can you give us your list from 10 to 6 from the list that I gave you?
Well, from 10 to 6, my list would be Ricardo Carvalho.
No, from the.
Oh,
You know what, Nana? You know what? Forget about you. All right.
Sorry.
from Fabrice's list.
From
Premier
my
League,
list.
sorry. From your list.
Yes.
Your list is shit. So why would I go with your list?
Anyway,
I'm going with my list.
okay. So
10 to 6.
You know what, Nana? Like, you can just debate and literally sit on the fence. But again, you know, I just want to kind of say to everyone that's literally put Radebe from like 6 to 10, why like hasn't Radebe, you know, like what is it about Radebe that like doesn't make him a top 5 player? And literally, I want to kind of give that to Coach Barry.
My opinion, I don't think he didn't sustain it at the top level long enough, and I don't think he won as much as some of the other in the top 5 Champions League, European Championships, the Premiership itself.
Okay.
My top five defenders have won that on several occasions. They've done all of those things. Even though I do rate Radebe very highly to Breeze, but I don't think he's not in my top 5. From the list you've given me, he's not in the top 5.
Okay.
Shouldn't even be in top 10.
Oh well, I mean, Owens got him at number 10. What was your reasoning for like Radebe number 10?
Pretty much the same reasons as Coach Barry. He didn't win anything. He was good player. Didn't win anything. And when you look at that list, I think he was actually, he might have been the only one not to win anything on that list. I think he is.
He is.
Yeah, I think he's the only player not to have won anything on that list. And literally nothing. I mean, what did Leeds win during his time?
Was he in the UEFA Cup winning side, was he?
No.
Because Rio played in that, didn't he? Ferdinand played in that team.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then went to United,
Yeah.
I looked him up. He hasn't won anything.
No.
Thanks for
That's what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying to you guys. That list is absolute shit. It shouldn't even be the top 10.
No, there are some good players in there, Nana. There is some.
Yes, but Radebe should not be in the top 10.
I
For once, I actually agree with Nana. I agree with Nana. I won't lie.
You have Jack Stam, you have Steve Bruce.
Yeah,
okay.
Stam, yeah.
Okay, well, Nana, like we'll be like talking about that later. But I mean, I want to kind of go to Owen.
Yeah.
Let's say Steve Bruce then. Steve Bruce at number 8. Please give me your reasons.
Well, good old-fashioned, hardcore centre-back, won stuff at United, great servant to the club. You know, he's of an older generation, for sure, and they don't make him like that nowadays, for better and for worse. But, yeah, the guy, when I was young, growing up, he was part of a very, very, very successful United squad.
Yeah.
Which kept on winning. So there you go, man.
And Emeka, I mean, again, I don't know if this was just in your era, but is there anything that you kind of know about Steve Bruce?
I mean, just I've seen it. To be fair, like Radebe, I'll say it's going back to Radebe quick. I listen to a lot of football shows, and and they do all these things like top 10 all the time. Never ever have I heard of Radebe being even like top 20. His name never comes up. But anyway, Steve Bruce on the other hand, it does come up. So you do your research, you look into it. Before my time, but from what I hear, some of this what I was saying, he seemed like a bit of a brute, pretty basic footballer, but he got his head on the ball, tackled pretty hard. And at that time, that's what football was about. That's what defenders need to do. Obviously nowadays, centre half asked to do a bit more from his era. Sounds like he was one of the best around.
Well, if he was one of the best, why didn't he get any England caps though?
It's before my time. You're gonna have to ask one of the more experienced.
Let's ask Nana.
Because there were better players around him. Simple as.
But Pallister got a few caps, and I would say Bruce was better than Pallister.
Bruce was better than Pallister.
I thought Bruce was better than Pallister.
No. Bruce would pop up, important moments, score some crucial goals, yes. but not on the same level. It's definitely better than Radebe, which you put in there because of your Leeds connection, but no chance. No chance.
I don't think he was very mobile, was he? He wasn't the most mobile player.
No.
He wasn't the most mobile player.
But he was very very experienced. He had the eye to be in the right position at the right time. He could read the game very, very well. He could tackle. He was an absolute brute. And that's what, that's one of the best. Football has changed right now in terms of defenders, the way they play. The defender has to actually play football now. But he did the basic things and he did them very, very well. 11, I think something like 11 goals, 60 something clean sheets. Wicked.
Okay. Actually, Nana, I'm going to go straight to Coach Barry. You put Adams in 7th. Very interesting. Why 7th?
Obviously, because I think the other players are better than him.
Well, I
knew that was coming, by the way.
What else can I ask Rebecca? What else can I ask?
You set that up for him.
Well, I mean, literally, a lot of people would actually think that Adams was a better defender than like Campbell, like in terms of his kind of leadership qualities, in terms of timing tackles. So they're like, must have been a reason, So you actually think that Sol Campbell is a better tackler, header.
Adams was in a great side, didn't he? Look at the side he was in. He was in a great side. Patrick Vieira. Remember the formation they played? Patrick Vieira, Petit. Look at the midfield they had in front of him. He was in a great, great side. Van Persie. Look at all the players he had. Bergkamp. Look at all the players. Ian Wright. Look at all the players around him. And other good defenders there. Ashley Cole. Winterburn was good. Keown was so aggressive and strong. Very, very good side.
But I mean, Nino's come in and said Adams was a real leader. But again, I mean, Adams was the England captain, and you've like still rated Sol Campbell higher.
So he's better than him because he's England captain.
I'm not saying that. It's, but again, yeah. I mean, I guess it's literally about opinion. I mean, again, Owen. Let me have a check in terms of where like you put.
Yeah, I put Adams 5th. So I put Adams above Campbell.
Okay.
I thought Tony Adams was a great player. And obviously that's the big distinguishing thing between a lot of this is the amount that he won. He was in that successful team. He was the leader of that team. Yeah, speak to a lot of Arsenal fans and they'll tell you, in his day, obviously they'll be biased, but genuine fans, they'll tell you that in his day, his reading of the game was unrivaled.
Exactly. But Sol Campbell, you've actually still positioned pretty low. I mean, what was Sol Campbell missing, in your opinion?
Just in comparison to the rest of the list, just thought the other ones above him were better, more successful, and that was it. Really, that's the defining thing. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. And Emeka, you put Tony Adams at 6. What do you think about Tony Adams as a leader?
See, I don't like this whole leadership thing, if I'm honest. I feel when you're doing things like this, you can't take leadership into it. So if you're making like a perfect team, whatever it is, or you're doing these lists, there's other players in the team that can be the leader. Adams made his kind of career, and everyone talks about his leadership. No one really talks too much about the rest of his game. Everyone's, he was a great leader. He's a great leader.
No, he was a good player. He was a very good player.
I was going to say, he was a good player, but he wasn't a great player. He was just a good player. So when you're doing it in the list, all we talk about now in this list is leadership. No one's talking about he was good at this. When we spoke about Steve Bruce, what did we speak about? We're talking about he was good in the air, he was good at tackling. Now we're talking about leadership. And I think for me, I'm an Arsenal fan. I think he's a great player.
Adams was good in the air. Adam was good. He was good at all those things as well.
Adams was a baller.
I'm looking at it from an attacking point of view. I think when you do these lists, if you talked about it from the players who played with them, everyone would put Adams quite high. Because of course you want a great leader in your team. But I think if you're an attacking player, you say, okay, do you want to play up against Tony Adams or Sol Campbell? You want to play up against Tony Adams. You're going to have the easier afternoon playing against Adams than you will against
Really?
110%.
Adams was Mr. Colossus.
You're not getting past Sol Campbell.
But Emeka.
He's strong.
Emeka. What Arsenal centre-back's better than Adams?
Sol Campbell.
And go on.
Emeka's too young, you know. He's too young.
What?
I'm not too young to know. This is Mr. Colossus.
But he's one of your greats. He's one of your Arsenal greats.
Look, yeah. But what I'm going to say, this is why I hate doing things like this. The same with the whole Messi and Ronaldo thing. By putting someone number 6, think about how many centre-halves have played in the Premier League. How long it's since like 92, 93. Think of how many centre-halves have played. I'm saying you're the 6th best centre-half to have done it in the Prem. Everyone's like, oh, what? You only put in 6. It's the fact you made the top 10, you should already be clapping for yourself. Like, it's an achievement. You've done well. You're clearly, I'm thinking you're a good player. 6th is this. You shouldn't think about the players who are above him. You can't be saying that.
No, but that's not what you said. You're talking about just leadership. What about all these other qualities? You dismiss all these other qualities.
You're doing the top 10. All of these players are going to have those
but
qualities.
I'm trying to think of all the Arsenal defenders. Owen, can you think of any Arsenal defenders?
Can I think of any Arsenal defenders?
Centre backs better than Adams.
Yeah, one. Sol Campbell. That's
Konchowski.
That's what I'm saying. Sol Campbell. If this was an Arsenal list,
apart from those,
it would be very close between Toure and Adams for second. Sol Campbell clearing away Arsenal's best ever centre half.
Yeah, I like Sol Campbell, but I think Adams is up there, right up there.
Oh no, I'll fancy myself against Tony Adams if I'm honest. Yeah.
Well,
Wow.
Okay.
You can't even beat Tabriz or.
I'm saying that Emeka is quite young, so he really doesn't understand. Because when you go back to George Graham and Arsene Wenger, 2 very different style managers, and Adams being there, Mr. Colossus, playing under these 2 different styles of play and still being a dominant force all those years. Some like almost 120 clean sheets. And you want to, for me, arguably, the best, I mean, he'll be third. For me, my top 5, he'll be third in there, in the Premier League. And I'm a United fan. He'll be there. It's only Jonh Terry, Ferdinand, and probably Adams.
But going back to
it's probably going to be like.
No, we're going to go into that. We're going to go into that after, isn't it?
Yeah, we're going to go into that.
You have to look at the whole team though, Nana, because like think about Man City. They don't need to like John Stones looks great in Man City because Man City keep the ball the whole game.
But it's the point I'm trying to make in terms of the different styles of play. But
I know you're saying, oh yeah, but he played really well under. He won loads of things under different managers. He was in a great team. When Arsenal, their whole point of Arsenal was to keep the ball.
When you're keeping the ball for 70% of the game, 2 different styles of play, 2 different managers, you have to give him credit for that.
What I'm saying is swap it the other way around, where Arsenal have 30% possession when he's getting run out all game. We'll see what's happening in that scenario. I want Sol Campbell. If my team's under the cosh, all right, we have to defend. People are going to be running at you again. You want Sol Campbell rather than Tony Adams.
Okay. Well,
I'll say go and watch a few clips of Sol Campbell and watch Adams and get back. You're too young to know.
I've seen. Okay.
Could Sol Campbell play piss?
I mean,
we all know Adams likes to drink, don't we? And he's still doing it.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Well, actually, Mecca, this is, and actually, I'd love to get Owen and Nana's opinion about this because I've just realized this. Mecca's put Vidic 9th.
Wow.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
he's smoking.
Literally, I just saw that now. I'm like, what's okay? So, Mecca, please explain Vidic 9th.
Honestly, I've never understood the whole Vidic thing. I think, again, similar to my earlier point, he was in a great team, and I think what you'll see from obviously my later picks, Ferdinand is the thing that carried that partnership. If anything, Vidic was a liability. I think he gave away so many opportunities. Ferdinand was the thing that made that work. The thing is, if they were, I forgot who the backup was. Say it was like Sylvester or Wes Brown. If Vidic came out and Wes Brown played against Ferdinand, the results wouldn't change. If Ferdinand came out and Wes Brown went next to Vidic, you have a problem. And Nana, you're a United fan. You tell me now, Ferdinand's the one out of that partnership that goes. You're telling me you're going to keep winning the same way? No chance.
The reason why the two of them were so good was one was a no-nonsense defender and one could play ball.
Absolutely.
So they worked absolutely perfect together. You did not win headers against Vidic.
Yeah, you just ran at him and he'll foul you. Torres ate him
right. It was one game. It was one game. Was it Van Dijk? What did Messi do to Van Dijk?
Which time?
Yeah.
Turn him inside out.
Which time?
Champions League.
You're going to pick one game. I can pick about
it's the
5
same thing.
games.
Torres, one game. That's what you picked. Vidic was consistent, popping up, scoring goals at crucial times, defending. I mean, you know, the defenders who would use every part of their body to get the ball. No nonsense. Deal with the stuff. No fancy stuff.
You call it no nonsense.
That was Vidic.
Okay.
Owen, I mean,
I call it reckless.
What did you think about? Well, what do you think about Emeka's opinion about Vidic?
I can understand where he's coming from. They were, but the point Nana was making, is absolutely right. That's why their partnership was so great, because they just had different aspects. But there's a well-known graphic that is easily found on the internet, which puts Vidic's stats up against Van Dijk's, and there's no comparison. Vidic has got much better stats than what Virgil Van Dijk has got.
But who's Van Dijk playing next to?
Matip,
exactly.
yeah. Well, right.
Is Matip ever going to be considered one of the best in the Premier League? Never.
No,
that's what I'm saying. The whole point, Vidic looked good because he's playing next to Ferdy. You take Ferdy out, no one will chat about Vidic. I promise.
But then you can go around every partnership and pick holes there. Everybody has their.
No, that's what I'm saying. Because if you're a good centre half, it's not. It's you.
Yeah, but no one
talks about Van Dijk. I don't even know who it is. That's how no one talks about his partner. No one. Who is it?
Yeah, but we are not going to talk about. We are not also talking about just Ferdinand alone. We're talking about Vidic as a centre back. We're talking about Van Dijk
if you just take Vidic on his own, pony, rubbish. That's what I'm saying. When you take him by himself, rubbish.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a big statement. But hey, you know what? I mean,
you're lucky I don't know who Radebe is. If I knew who Radebe was, Vidic would have been last.
Vidic rubbish. Okay.
Wow. Okay. Well, I think we've literally gone through all of the names from 10 to 6. Is there kind of anyone in your 10 to 6 that I missed out that should have had a mention?
So you spoke about me putting Vidic 9th. I think Van Dijk being 6 needs to be spoken about, to be honest. I think that's a bit. I don't know.
Well, I think that there's a shout for Marcel Desailly.
Okay.
And Jacques Stam.
Yeah, no, we're going to get into that. It's time to breathe.
No, he's asking about the top 10 that he missed out, and I'm saying that these.
No.
Instead of Radebe,
I was saying Owen put Van Dijk 6th, which I think blasphemous. Blasphemous.
Oh crap! Yes, he did. Okay, Owen.
Yeah.
Please explain.
I'm just from that list upwards, from that point upwards, I was just looking at trying to work out who's won the most and who was successful for longest, and that was really what I was looking at. So,
does winning things mean you're good?
You what? Sorry?
Does winning things mean you're good? Didn't Phil Neville won the Premier League like 6 times? He's terrible.
What are you talking about?
Listen, Tabriz, the next time you get these sort of shows, bring people who are older and wiser, please. Yeah? Because what you're saying Phil Neville was poor.
Okay, I'm sorry. How many times has he won the Premier League? Is that how many? Is it 5, 6?
You see, this is what I'm
It's
saying.
more,
Like,
yeah.
you don't even know what you're talking about. He's
Okay,
one of the best right backs in the Premier League. What are you talking about?
Phil Neville.
Yes, Phil
We're
Neville.
talking about centre backs, guys. We're talking about centre backs.
Oh.
Centre back.
Yeah,
That was my explanation, Emeka. That was it. Just trying to look at that list then and thinking, right, who's been successful for longer and won the most? And
Makes sense.
there's no disputing VVD is a great player, but he's only had a purple patch for the last 3 years or something, 3 seasons or something.
True.
Yeah.
But it's hard to say. I can understand why you say that, Owen, because VVD still played.
Yeah.
His career is still ongoing. So he might end up right up near the top by the time he finishes his career. We don't know.
True.
We don't know where he's going to end up. So it's just a speculative, like, yeah, I'll put him 6.
Yeah.
That's
Okay. Okay.
We don't know where he's going to end up.
All right. All right. So we're gonna go through people's 5th to 1st, and let's start with Emeka. So from 5 to 1, please.
Here we go.
So Ferdinand 1st, Terry 2nd, Campbell 3rd, Kompany 4th, and Van Dijk 5th.
And Owen.
Yeah, so not too different, but obviously Vidic much higher up. Yeah, Kompany got me in there because of what he achieved at City. You know, where was Kompany on Emeka's list? I forgot.
Add him 4th as well.
4th. All right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty similar. And Coach Barry, you had Terry 5th, VVD 4th, Vidic 3rd, Kompany 2nd, and Ferdinand 1st. So, Coach Barry, why have you got Kompany 2nd?
Why?
Yeah.
He shouldn't read it. I done it quickly. I done it really quick. Remember, I done it in about a minute. You said you want it now, so I done it in about a minute. But
So what would be your number 5 then? 5 to 1. What would be your list then? 1 to 5.
It would have been most probably Ferdinand and Vidic.
As in 1 and 2?
Yeah. Then Terry would have been next.
Okay. All right. Okay. No, fair enough. And let's go to Owens. Owens got Kompany 4th, Vidic 3rd, Terry 2nd. Kompany. I think he still isn't really spoken about as a kind of legend in the Premiership. Why is that?
Really, I think he is, isn't he? I think.
Yeah, I think he is.
I don't think he gets spoken about as much as the other centre backs. Personally,
He's not English, is he?
Yeah.
No,
I mean, like literally, Owen.
In his country, he's a legend in Belgium.
Yeah. I mean, Owen. What was Kompany's qualities?
Oh God.
Well, it pains me to talk about him, seeing as I'm United, but yeah, I can respect a quality player, and he was calm on the ball, physically imposing. He had that great leadership aspect. I appreciate what Emeka's saying about that, though. But on the ball, he could score goals as well with his feet and his head. I mean, he scored one of his last goal was an absolute belter, wasn't it? Huh? So yeah, and he was the leader within that team when they were really dominating. Yeah,
and also Owen, he was a good footballer.
Yeah, he was.
He could play. That was, which is rare in centre backs. I heard that Nana's a kind of balling centre back as well.
Whoever told you that.
Is that true, Nana? None of smiley, you're smiling. Not you, Tabrice.
I try.
Tabrice is more the.
You know what? I knew Coach. You know what? Coach Barry's just stirring the pot. You know, he's just.
I'm not. You're more the fun
He's
guy.
asked a
You're
simple
the fun
question
guy.
to Breeze. He's asked a simple question.
Listen, you know what? Let me kind of stick. Emeka, you had. Let me see where you had Kompany. Yeah, you had Kompany fourth. You had Campbell second, and Terry. Sorry, Campbell third, Terry second. Jonh Terry. I mean, what a colossus. I mean, he was. You know, rather than me talking about Terry, I mean,
You know why I dropped him down? Why I dropped Terry down? Because he went down after all the stuff he done with the. When I learned about the Anton and all that, he went right down in that information.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I mean, John.
He should be. I'm not taking away from that side of it. He went down.
Yeah, I mean, but like, you know, we have to. Well, we don't have to, but parking like all of his personal and his private life away with like talking about him as a player.
He done that as a player, though. He done that as a player. Did he do it as a player?
Coach Barry is not going to let this one go.
Did he do it as a player, Tabrice?
Yes, he did.
Thank you.
Is there any chance I can share my top 5 to Breeze?
Go on, Nana.
Much as it pains me, because I'm a United fan, obviously, I think Terry was number 1.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I mean, watching him over the years, going to Old Trafford, seeing United, Chelsea, going to Stamford Bridge to see Chelsea play again. Some of the things that we don't see behind the scenes is organizational skills, and some of the things that maybe I appreciate again what Emeka would say, you know, leader, but it is the bane of a squad, and Terry was exemplary on the pitch, not off the pitch. That's not what we're talking about. But I think he was number 1. Behind him is Ferdinand.
Okay.
Number 3 for me is Tony Adams.
Okay.
Then we have Vidic.
Okay.
And then we have VVD.
Okay. So literally, Kompany would literally be from 6 to 10.
Yeah.
Okay. No, fair enough. I mean, listen. I think no one can talk about Terry's leadership skills. You know, who was an absolute leader. I mean, again, what Coach Barry said. What you know.
And also, do you remember at Chelsea? Yeah, at corners and stuff like that. Who was the main man in the back? It weren't Terry.
It was Cavallio.
No,
Branislav Ivanovic.
Didier Drogba used to go back for all the corners. Remember, all the big games, Didier Drogba used to win everything in that box. All their big games, they would put Didier Drogba.
So if you remove Didier Drogba, who else won it?
Huh?
If you remove Didier Drogba,
I'm just saying.
Yeah, but that's what we're saying. We're talking about the defenders. So the strikers came and did their job because most of the strikers were physically quite imposing. But after them, the defenders doing their jobs, organizing, dealing with everything else. Terry was absolute monster. Absolute monster.
Not better than Ferdinand.
I think with the ball at his feet, Ferdinand was a Rolls Royce. It's so smooth. But that comes with him being able to play in midfield before dropping back to centre back. So, it comes to the territory. But all round, getting your team fired up, defending, throwing yourself for everything, I think Terry was so immense. So immense. And like I said, it pains me to say because I'm a United fan. I would love to swap it around, but I think Terry was right up there.
Emeka, would love to get your opinion about Jonh Terry.
I was like, don't get me wrong, put him second. He's good. He's never first. I'm sorry, but I think he was really underrated actually on the ball. I think no one really speaks about his actual technical ability. I think on the ball is actually really good. I think the reason I put Ferdinand above him, they are quite similar, but like Nana was saying, you do see Jonh Terry like doing quite a lot of blocks and like last ditch tackles. I feel Ferdinand didn't really have to get himself into that situation. I feel like everyone gives Jonh Terry that kind of
because Vidic did that for him.
Ferdinand didn't have to do that. He had to pay to get back.
Vidic did that for him.
He was on the cover. He's quick enough to get back. I have to make a last ditch tackle, get to the ball before you. So,
Vidic did that for him.
Similar to Van Dijk. Everyone's like, Van Dijk don't even get himself dirty. He doesn't have to. He doesn't have to. You don't have to do it. So they're very similar. But yeah, I think that's what gave Ferdinand the edge for me. But you know, people like different things in their defenders. I like my defenders staying on their feet. If you like your defender throwing himself at the goal, yeah, if you want to put Terry first, then I get it. And I've seen Nana play football, and so I understand why you put Terry first.
Actually, you know, I'd kind of love to get people's opinion about how defending has changed. You know, Emeka, you've said it. Actually, I think everyone on the panel has said it. You know, Ferdinand didn't have to get himself into a position where like he would have to slide tackle, and you know, people like defenders who literally finish the game clean as well. I mean, actually, this is like to like coach. How do you coach your centre backs? And literally, when your centre backs go to ground, how does that make you feel?
You go to ground if you have to. If it's necessary, that's why you go to ground. Skill is just the basics. We use it in a certain situation. There's a lot of defenders who overplay. They're great defenders because they did the right things in the right places. Ferdinand and Vidic, their mind is way ahead. They can see, and their positioning is 100%. That's what makes a great defender, is positioning. Seeing what's going to happen, dropping off. That's what makes a great defender. Making it look easy. It's an art. It's an art defending. Or you've got the other defender who's going to be more like man-to-man on him. What I liked about Ferdinand, he was, because the system our team plays, we play with a sweeper. So we've always got a player behind who's quality, drops off, picks up the ball, and we start play from there. So it's very different styles from what everybody's got. Some people like two big, strong centre-backs when they play centre-back. It's completely different. So that's why I think who's the best centre-back is about. It's always been about people's opinions and the way you want to set up defend. Like I said, teams don't really play how we play anymore. I play with a centre-half and one who drops off all the time. We've always got a player that drops deep, and we play from there. So I've always got someone very, very good at the back who can read the game, positioning is good, and he plays with someone who's more of a ball winner in front of him. But everybody plays different. Some people play with a flat back four, pushing up, strong, wing backs, flying. Depends what style you want to play. So everybody on here might have a different way. Who's a great defender and what? There's no right way, your perfect way to defend. The best thing to do is you winning the ball and getting it back up the field. Your style and Nana's style, that's what I'm saying. I'm not causing trouble, but you two do have completely different styles. You and Nana. Oh, and you're a defender as well?
I'm a centre-back as well. Yeah.
Are you a strong centre-back or you're a ball player?
I'm a ball-playing centre-back and I'm a strong centre-back. Obviously, I'm good in the air, but I call myself the poor man's Rio. That's what I've always said.
What I'm trying to say to you, when I used to play like semi-pro, there were some clubs you go to, the manager wouldn't allow any of the centre-backs to play on the ball.
True.
Just
get rid. Yeah. Yeah, it happened when I was younger. I was playing when I first started playing for Herne Bay. Yeah. And they played two centre backs who were just big lumps. You know, I'm almost 6 foot, but these were 6'5". And they just win their headers and boot it back up the pitch.
The ball straight out the field. Yeah. And all the midfield players on his seconds.
Yeah, that's it.
So they lift out the midfield straight, and you win. You play on seconds all the time in midfield. So it all depends. It is all depends what you like. Do you want your team to play out from the back? Do you want your centre back to be ball play, or do you want them to hit channels, or what? It all depends what you like. I like players who can bring it down and we can play from the back and hold the ball. So.
Actually, and Emeka, you like plays a right back, don't you? As well.
Yeah.
So literally.
You're right, I think he's a striker. I thought Emeka was a striker.
Oh man, I play everywhere, but no, I think I play when I play properly. No, when I play properly, right back.
You're Brazilian then, yeah?
Yeah, I'm right back.
So, Owen, Rio Ferdinand. I mean, I know that we've kind of spoken about him on like a few occasions, and like you've called yourself like the poor man's Rio. I mean, he was immense in his prime. I mean, what can up and coming centre backs learn from Rio Ferdinand?
Composure, reading the game, and as we've made the point already, if you're reading the game, you then not leaving it that you have to make that last ditch tackle. You're already in that position. You've read it. You can see where it's going to go. A lot of that does come with experience, and you can't rush that. But that was his biggest attribute. He was just so composed. His reading of the game. Personally, it's something I like. Like my game to be on. Coach Barry, you said you like to watch defenders who get the ball down and play. Come and watch us.
Right.
But yeah, we that's how we like to try and play our team. Don't rush anything. Sometimes, very rarely, we get caught because we're doing too much at the back. But that's your 1 time out of 100. 99 times out, we're keeping it very calm, playing it out up to our midfield. They go.
Yeah. And Nana would love to get your opinions about Ferdinand as well.
Absolute baller. Well, you've seen me play, in all honesty, and I don't like just hoofing the ball up the pitch. I like to pick up a pass. And Ferdinand was the exact epitome of that. Calm under pressure, winning tackles, being in the right place at the right time, restarting play, carrying the ball forward. He's like a modern day centre back right now, and he's the start of that era. You see VVD, John Stones, them all trying to play the way he did back in the day. So he was everything. He was everything. But
No. Don't forget Beckenbauer, mate.
Yeah.
Don't forget the great.
Yeah, well, I mean, but like again, if we be honest, like that wasn't in our generation. Like we're like looking at the players that again, it's kind of not even a flaw of Emeka because Emeka's just younger. But again, that's the reason probably why he doesn't rate Adams as highly as what we do.
But you keep saying that about that generation, but you couldn't. Don't you watch old players? I watch old videos of old players, great players. Don't no one watch old players.
I doubt Emeka watches that old.
No, that's what I'm saying. But I watched Adams. I'm an Arsenal fan. I did watch him, but I'm saying the players that are above him on the ball and actually reading the game are better than Tony Adams. The only thing that you're talking about that Adams has, you're not going to try and tell me that Adams is a better defender than Ferdinand or Kompany or all these players. There's no way. All you're talking about is leadership. So if that's what makes you a great Premier League centre half, then yeah, he was brilliant. I'm not gonna.
Nino, just because I'm confident, that's why. Yeah.
Actually, you know what? That's a fair point. Nino said, Nana, aka Cruyff, because he would literally Cruyff in his own box, and he would, Nana would sometimes have just like a head rush of the absolute nonsense. But also as well, Nana would start off the play as well. Like when Nana's on his game, 100%. Like there's literally no one better out there.
Whoa, that's high praise, man.
No, listen.
No one.
Calm down.
Owen's here, Owen's on the panel,
Listen, you know what? But again, we kind of discovered that we played against Owen, and I'm like, yeah, he was a guy that was winning every single header. And so it's kind of one of those things as like defenders, almost like goalkeepers, you appreciate a really good defender or like a solid defender that anyone that makes minimal mistakes in the back 4 / back 5, you always say, okay,
So,
you know what?
Tabriz, can I ask a question?
Yes, yeah.
Because there's 3 centre backs here. Who do you each one model your game on?
And I'll start with Nana first.
I would say a blend between Vidic and Rio, because I like to tackle, I like to get on the floor, and I also like to play football. I'm more like Tony Adams, I'd say, because he could do everything. He could do everything. You know.
Okay.
Okay. And Owen?
At this stage of my life, mainly Rio. When I was younger, yeah, fine, I'd love to throw myself into tackles. But nowadays, if I'm throwing myself into a tackle, I might not get up myself from it. You know? So I like to be. My reading of the game, without blowing my own trumpet, is one of my best attributes.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I like to just be there before I need to make some massive physical tackle. So, Rio.
Cool. And sorry, Hepburn Security is absolutely taking a piss. That's actually funny. That's actually funny.
Huh?
But you know what I mean. I think what it is with like defenders, you know, if you're prepared to make a mistake with the ball at your feet or whatever, then you know that does show courage. And also like the team around you must have confidence with in you. And Nana again. I know people are kind of getting on your back a little bit, but Nana was prepared to take that risk. Yeah, 100%. Sorry, I'm kind of going through a few of the comments. Townsend is actually better than Nana bringing out the ball. 100%. I just want to say on record, I think Townsend is probably one of the top 3 centre backs in the league. Well, yeah, I say top 2 centre backs in the league easily.
Is that because you're number 1?
This is nothing. No,
Who does you model yourself on, Tabriz? You haven't named
me.
Radebe.
Oh boy! Listen, I mean, hey, I guess.
Titus Bramble.
Listen, listen. You know what? I will. Oh, God. See, someone said, "But listen, I've."
There you go.
Sometimes I make mistakes. Sometimes it may look slightly cumbersome. I think people have kind of called me like the header and kick it guy. But you know what?
Don't say Maguire, do not say Maguire.
Listen, I would probably say Colin Hendry. I think people would probably say Colin.
Colin Hendry. Colin Hendry.
The Mecca's like, who? Who is Colin Hendry?
Oh God!
Exactly, Emeka. Exactly.
Yeah, he can't be good. Can't be good.
Well, hey.
He's the one who got done by Gaza, Emeka, in the 96.
No, Tabriz, be serious. Come on.
No, listen. I mean, I would say Sol Campbell. I mean,
this guy cracks me up.
I would agree, to be honest.
Thank you, Emeka. Thank you.
I would agree.
Remember, you played midfield, holding mid as well.
Oi, Sol Campbell was good with the ball at his feet.
So is Tabriz.
What? Tabriz is an absolute beast in the air. He's a monster in the air. No doubt about it.
No.
Jonh Terry, he's underrated. He's good with the ball. He's good with the ball.
Listen, I've been playing with Tabriz for 5-6 years, so you cannot tell me that Tabriz is better with the ball at his feet.
Well,
no chance.
The 2 seasons I played with Tabriz, he was good with the ball.
How long ago was this?
Well, when was that, Tabriz? I don't know, like 2015, maybe 2016.
Yeah, 2015, 2016.
Oh, he's getting worse by the years then.
No, listen. You know what? But I like firmly believe. So sometimes you've got to play a role in your team, and exactly what Coach and Barry kind of said. I've like played in midfield, so literally, I know how to get around and to kind of do like certain things. But again, I don't need to talk too much. I'll actually perform in the position that I have to. So literally, if I've got a head and kick, I'll literally head and kick. If I've got a pass, I will pass. So it is what it is. You know, as just said, keep the ball away from his feet.
Thank you, Nino. Thank you, Nino.
No, you know what?
I've been honest now.
You know what? Actually, you know what? To be absolutely honest with you, yesterday 100%, it was like the ball was like hot coal. And Hepburn Security said Tabuza getting mugged off in the first 20 minutes yesterday. Yeah, 100%. It was absolute madness. But hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. But I mean, do you think? And again, we are kind of still talking about, I'd say, like the kind of top 10 centre backs, and we've all put Rio apart from Nana as like number one. Why do you think Rio didn't get the kind of accolades, as in like the world accolades in terms of the Ballon d'Or in his prime, which I believe he should have got? I mean, defenders never kind of get those like type of ratings, and literally, I would love to talk to you guys about why defenders don't.
Cannavaro did. He won the Ballon d'Or, didn't he?
I think it was politics, though.
No, I'd like to know what year. I want to know what year. Everyone says it.
It was strikers and midfielders getting all the plaudits, getting everything.
When last as a British player got it, didn't he? As a British player.
Michael Owen.
Yes, he did.
When did Owen get it? What year did Owen get it?
He got it when he was
2001 or something, wasn't
it?
But that's when he actually moved over to Madrid, isn't it?
No.
Before he went to Madrid. I'm sure he got before he went to Madrid.
No, he only at Madrid for one season, wasn't he?
Yeah. It was at Liverpool.
Yeah,
it was in 2001.
2001.
Okay. You know what? Okay, because literally, I was literally talking about Rio Ferdinand, and Hepburn Security has come up with a very good comment. I remember when Rio skipped a drugs test. After that, I remember that because he didn't go to the Euros, I believe.
So he was banned for about 8 months, wasn't he, or something?
Yeah, he was. He was.
Was it the weed?
No, players say this.
It was something, but I mean, again,
they want his piss, remember? They want his piss, remember?
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
So, Breeze, can you let me know what year you thought he should have won the Ballon d'Or?
What, as in Ferdinand?
Yeah, everyone's like, this can't believe so-and-so hasn't won.
It might be 2008 when they won everything, isn't it? Is it 2008? Yeah. They won the Premier League, FA Cup, Champions League, and the World Club Super Cup.
Yeah, but then Messi and Ronaldo were already.
So Ronaldo won it in 2008. So
they were already
Ronaldo in that year.
Yeah.
But he won everything that year. He won the whole. No one in this country's ever done that, have they? No other clubs done that, have they?
Yeah, so
FA Cup, and Champions League.
People should win the Ballon d'Or, but then when you look at who actually won it, then you're like, okay, yeah. I can't think of a year that people are. I know Lewandowski, now people say he should have won it. I think that's like a fair argument. He should have.
Messi should have. Anyway, that's
that's
I'm not sure if anyone's like Ferdinand should have won a Ballon d'Or. He's a good player, but he weren't that good.
And I would love to get your opinions about players that should have been mentioned. Any like centre backs? I know Nana's been dying to say Stam and myself, Desai and
Desai. I've got that as well now.
Stam, yeah. Laurent Blanc.
Oh, no way! Come on.
No, I did like Laurent.
He graced the Premier League. He come to us as a World Cup winner.
No, he was horrible, man.
He was awful.
He come when his legs were gone. Owen, man.
Awful. No, you have a look at the stat. He was not awful. He was actually done us a right.
He was all right. I over exaggerated there, man. He weren't. No.
But Stam,
I'm not lighting no fireworks for him, mate.
No, Stam, I totally agree. Should absolutely.
Yeah, Stam. Desai. I've got. I think Ledley King was one of the best players as well. Most underrated player, but his thing was injuries. Maybe he couldn't train. That was his problem. He couldn't train.
Yeah.
You talk to loads of pros that said he was one of the best players ever in the country. But he had his knees had gone, innit? So he could only play occasionally once in a while. So there's loads of, like you said, there's Carvalho, loads of top players played in.
Carvalho as well, yeah, it's true.
I'm sure he didn't put Desai in there though.
Well, I mean, you know what? I kind of thought about Desai, but he played more in the midfield for like Chelsea. So like it was LeBeuf and Dewberry most of the time, I believe, and Desai, he was a centre midfielder. So yeah, I was kind of toying with that, but
Desai, when he played centre back, he was called the Rock. Remember?
Yeah, but that's for AC Milan.
No.
Of course, like that was his name, but when he kind of came to Chelsea, like it wasn't in his prime.
Wait, what?
That's why he wasn't in his prime when he was at Chelsea.
What year did Desai came to Chelsea? How old was he when he came to Chelsea?
He was in his 30s.
No chance.
In his 30s. Really? Oh, I would have thought he would have been.
No chance. He was like 27, 28.
No, I think when Dewberry was on the other day, he did say Desai came like late in his career.
Yeah. 100%.
Look at that. But
yeah,
he was amazing at Chelsea as well. I mean, but it goes to say, like, if you look after yourself properly, I mean, you can go a lot further in your career. If you can see Thiago Silva right now, you know, look at his age. Look at what he's doing right now. Like, amazing servant of the game.
Quality player. Quality.
Yeah.
And Stam can't make the list because he only did it for 3 years. And you said earlier that Van Dijk can't be in the top because he's only been doing it for 3 years. So if you use your same logic, Stam can't be in it.
Oh, well, no, yeah, I totally agree, but mine would be in place of Radebe. Yeah, I'd have Stam in place of Radebe.
What about Ricardo Carvalho?
Not
no, it's a good player.
No.
I think it was good.
He came late as well. I thought his legs was going when he came.
And one more, Jay Carragher.
No
Listen,
chance.
I mean,
Kolo Touré needs an honourable mention.
On goal mention.
No, Kolo Touré needs a mention.
Kolo.
Yeah,
he's not top 10, but he's just outside. He's just outside.
I think because of Campbell and like those two together, they were immense. But Touré on his own was an accident just waiting to happen. That was like comprehensive insurance. That he needed, you know, that was really bad. But I mean, with Carvalho, a lot of people say that he was a better defender than Terry, because you know he was a lot more mobile, and he like did a lot of the cleaning up, you know. And I mean, it kind of showed when I know it was later on in Terry's career, but like when he kind of went to Aston Villa, he was like nowhere near like the same player like how Thiago Silva is now. You know, at a similar age.
You can't judge him on that though.
But this is what I'm saying. When you are talking about best defenders, you can't overlook the partnerships, because people are given particular jobs to do. Say if you talk about Vidic and Ferdinand, you can take one out and say let's leave this one in, or let's leave this one alone, because you didn't win tackles with headers with Vidic in the air, and Ferdinand was there to clean up. So everybody played their part. You see what I'm saying? But if you wanted, say, a team and you were looking for one defender to be your team, who would you put in there? That's probably how we should judge them.
Yeah, and that's why Ferdinand's number one, because he could do it all. If you wanted to scrap with Ferdinand, he'll still scrap with you. He could do that as well.
Yeah.
Whereas
I remember Tottenham and United later on in Ferdinand's career
against Bale.
Bale tore him a new one, and I thought he was going to retire the day after. It was embarrassing.
I mean, again,
Gareth Bale tore everyone a new one.
Yeah, I was going to say, getting torn up like Gareth Bale at any time in your career isn't really an embarrassment. But when
no,
I'm not going to judge someone for that.
Yeah, you catch it. Come on, see, Nana's just gone down in my estimation of football knowledge.
He was still playing the United squad. He was still, he was the first team starter in the United team. So what are you talking about? He was only 29.
Bale was awesome, wasn't he? In that time, Bale would have done anybody.
But this is it. He was around 29. He was still playing the United team.
I think he was older.
As all the conversations we're having is about you as a defender being in the right place at the right time, right?
Yeah, but sometimes, well, I think everyone knows that pace is probably the ultimate weapon in like football, and sometimes you can be in the right position, and you know, if you get burnt, you get burnt. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. So hey, it is what it is. Is what it is. Thank you to all of the comments. Nino said, yeah, partnerships, good partnerships. Hepburn Security said, oh, come on, someone own up a smoke alarm. What have you got?
Not mine.
A smoke alarm.
Mate, there's a beep that goes off. It's either that or you've got a bird. Have you got a bird? You keep a bird at home?
Who is it?
It's not me.
Not me.
I can't hear nothing.
Yeah, it goes off intermittently. It goes off.
Yeah. I haven't heard it either.
I've not heard it.
Well, Hegman is a security man, isn't it? So he just has a keen ear to it.
All right. Okay. I'm gonna listen. I can't hear anything. But okay. Well, I mean, hey guys, what a show! What a show! Nino said, "Unks." What does that mean?
No. Did you see that then?
I heard it.
Yeah.
That's my smoke alarm, gentlemen. That's my smoke alarm.
How's
Is
it?
it your smoke alarm?
Yeah.
I've just noticed that now.
Oh, you're talking about the beep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it needs batteries, mate.
Mate, that's needed batteries for about 6 months. It's been going on for ages.
Really? Okay. Okay.
I don't hear it anymore. I'm so used to it. I don't even plug it.
Oh, seriously?
That's why Nino said unks.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Okay.
I don't hear it. It's been going on for so long. I don't hear it anymore.
Okay, well, Coach, you might have to get that sorted out because, like, people are saying, I can, you know, I mean, maybe I'm just tone deaf because I can hear a single thing.
Nino said he's been on every show.
You know what?
It seriously has. It has been since I first come on. I mean,
Really?
Have you heard it?
Yeah, what is
you
that?
heard it?
I've not heard anyway. Wow. Okay. Well, hey, that's like something I've learned in 2022. Like, maybe I'm just tone deaf. I've not heard anything. Oh, I've heard it again. All right. Okay. You know what, Coach? You know what? You might have to get it changed because, like, now I can hear it.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Anyway, guys, honestly, thank you so much for like coming on. Next week I've got a few guests coming on. I can't say right now because just a lot of things happening. But yeah, I'm gonna get a few pros on. We're gonna be talking about grassroots football, vets football as well. I just want to wish everyone a great 2022. I hope we can get the season finished. I'd love to see Hermbe in the final of the London Vets Cup.
That'd be good.
Good luck to Catford in the League Cup semi-final. You guys in the semi-final or is it quarter-final? No.
Quarters.
So yeah, no, I kind of love for Catford to.
Who you playing, Nana? I don't know who you playing. Who you playing, Nana?
I've got to check that.
You don't know who
you know the breeze?
I don't know who they're playing, but I mean, if it's the League Cup, then you guys must be one of the favorites. I don't know if Santos is in it. I'm not too sure. But
we're playing Santos in a couple of weeks.
Okay, yeah, cool. And then of course with like independent, top of the league. Let's kind of see how things go. Of course, we have a cup game against Charcoal. But again,
Sporting Croydon.
Sporting Croydon.
Yeah.
Never heard of them. Never heard of them. But hey, I mean, it's a kind of cup game, isn't it? So anything can happen. Anything can happen. Emeka, thank you for joining us. And again, thank you to all of the listeners. Please like and subscribe. Coach, I can hear it now. I swear down to you.
Yeah.
Like it's weird. Like I couldn't hear nothing before, but
You're
like,
tuned in now. You're tuned in.
wow.
Yeah. Oh, is that Townsend? Yeah, Townsend. I'll change it. I'll change it over. Townsend can save a life. He's right. I'll change it over.
It's true. It's true. But honestly, to Owen, Coach, Barry, Emeka, and Nana, thank you guys so much. We'll be back next week at 8 o'clock with some new topics, new discussions, and with guests. I bid everyone a wonderful week. And yeah, I will see you next week, Sunday.
All right. See ya.